Hello. My journey of faith really isn't a very exciting one, I don't think. I can't really point to any particular time when I could say that was a time when Jesus revealed himself to me. But church has always been a part of my life. One of my earliest memories is getting an uncontrollable fit of the giggles with my sister sitting in church in St John's in Rowlands Castle, and my father depositing us with a big harumph. He wasn't very pleased as we went into Sunday school and he went back to the service. After the age of 8 until about 18, I was away at boarding school. And at those times, actually, church service, chapel, was actually quite a haven of peace. And the music was something that I could lose myself in. And it was a rather nice place to be, and people weren't competing in church in the way they were elsewhere in schools. I then went to university and came across then my first experience of meeting people who had a very strong faith and who impressed me immensely, not because of they were trying to tell me what I should believe, but just by knowing that they were Christians and knowing how they lived their lives. They shone like bright beacons of how I wanted to live my life. I'm not sure I did. I didn't succeed very well. I went into the army and we got married. And then when we started living in Surbiton, we went to St Mark's Church. And that's where some of our children got christened when they were very young. And then we moved to Oxshott and had a lovely church, St Andrew's, where we all got very involved with the church. And there was a time when all 7 of us sang in the choir together. And that was just the most wonderful family time. It was also the time, I think, when the children started to understand about what faith was, and they had very strong leadership and help in their schools, and I started to learn about faith from them. And then we came here to St James, and that has been a most wonderful, welcoming community, and where we've also been able to explore our questions about faith. And that's how I describe my journey of faith, is that it's a journey that isn't ended. I have been seeking Jesus Christ, and I can't say that I've found him necessarily in the sense of being certain in my faith, in the same way that I perceive other people have a certainty of their faith and a solidity and a firm foundation in their faith. But then the more I talk to people about their faith and what I believe, I realise that actually none of us have the certainty of faith, because that's not what faith is. Faith isn't knowing. Faith is believing. And maybe what Jesus wants us to do is to seek him throughout our lives, because he knows what we don't know, is that when we come to the time of actually walking through the valley of the shadow of death, he knows that he will be there beside us. And that's the time at which our faith will turn into certainty. Because once we walk through that valley, we will come to the sunlit uplands of knowing Jesus, because we will see him, we will be with him for eternity. And that's my faith.